What the? Wow. Today we are at the property that we were talking about just a few weeks back. And look at this. All these walls have been put up. We're gonna walk through this property and show you guys what this property has transitioned into. Before you go any further, make sure you like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And to see the previous video of what this property looked like before, check the description below. Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
No, Matt was explaining that this isn't the typical model because it's not right near in the businesses and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah. I'll go into that in a second. So we might as well just get started, I guess. So the way I acquired this property, I know you're a little bit more on the newer side on creative finance. Everybody else here understands creative finance, right? Subject to. I bought this property, and this is what I was telling you about a couple weeks back. I bought it subject to an existing mortgage. So the owner who actually lived in this property was in arrears. They were like $40,000 in arrears. What ended up happening was HUD actually ended up buying their arrears out and putting a silent second on the property, okay? So when I acquired the property, I actually didn't have to catch up the arrears. HUD actually ended up catching the arrears. When she bought the when that ended up happening, because she got that loan modification, she actually ended up like deciding, hey, I don't want the home. The burden of $2,600 a month was just too much for me. The PIT on this house is like 26 something, right? So I didn't have to qualify for the mortgage. I didn't have to go through the bank, anything like that. That whole modification process was done prior to me actually buying the property. The wholesaler worked with the realtor, because you might see a realtor sign out there. We actually just pulled it because they never pulled their sign. So we just pulled it. A realtor had it listed. They weren't able to sell the property because they didn't have enough tools in their tool belt to be able to solve the seller's problem. So we were able to come in. The wholesaler was actually in communication with the realtor, which I think it was just like a flat fee service. So if I understand correctly, the realtor was actually more so in direct communication with the seller themselves. It was just like a flat fee listing. They paid $500, got that realtor out of the way, and then that wholesaler continued working with the seller directly. So these type of deals that you hear me speaking about, which I know you haven't got a chance to walk through. These are the type of deals that we're doing is creative finance, whether it's a subject to deal or a seller finance deal.
Yeah, I don't want you to waste all their time because I need to understand it more, but I do a lot of work with the pre-foreclosure and end up finding an investor, but they're normally someone who just buys the home.
Yeah.
And they don't do anything like this.
Right. And so are those typical people buying them cash, or are they using bank financing?
Yeah.
Or either or. I'm not in the business of putting, like this house cost me $380,000.
Right.
If I would have took $380,000 and parked it right here at this asset, the problem was is there's no velocity of money there.
Right.
I like to take my dollar and spend as wide as I can, right? So the cash to close on this property was actually a little over $10,000. It was originally 15, got it down at 10 grand. So I paid 10 grand for this home. But the beautiful thing about that is a part of my cash to close was 1 month of PITI. So technically, my cash to close on this was like $13,000, right? That was the cash to close with the title company, and then the 1 month payment to the mortgage portal that I had to pay for the seller. So yeah, you get investors doing that, but a lot of them just don't understand the creative finance aspect.
That's why
So,
I'm here, and I don't as much understand it, but I can and will.
Yeah, so that's what I was just telling you, like you've been hearing me speak about these creative financing. What is creative finance? Well, now you get to see us walk through the property. Now, typically when I take these properties down, I have to look at them like, am I going to Airbnb it? Okay, no, this doesn't fit the Airbnb model. Is this going to be a fix and flip? No, this doesn't fit the fix and flip bucket. And I have all these different buckets. Now, I always tell people, if you're just starting out, pick one bucket. I've been doing this for a while, so I understand a lot of different buckets at a high level. So it's okay for me to look at different buckets, right? If you're just doing pad splits, just do pad splits. Until you really get an understanding of what the model is and what other different buckets you have access to, you can do those as well. Now, maybe I could have wrapped this, but honestly, the PITI is already really, really high, right? If I did a wraparound mortgage, which is another creative finance strategy, but the PITI is already really high. Somebody can go and rent this property for $2,200 a month. If I was gonna, my initial PITI, if it's already at 26, even though I'm only paying PI, they're gonna be in this house for $3,000 a month, over $3,000 a month. It doesn't make sense for me to do that. So the best strategy for me was to do a pad split. Now, what Matt was talking about a little bit ago, Palm Coast is probably not a market you would probably hear about pad splits a lot. I'd like to introduce you to a new revolutionary solution for furnishing your space that took me 10 hours to create. I made this for my business to streamline the furniture process to help me save time and hassle. So if you're tired of spending hours of researching and selecting individual products only to end up returning them, or want to take control of your time back and stop spending countless hours away from your family, it's time to simplify the furniture shopping process experience by grabbing your free ultimate shopping property list today. If you're tired of endless furniture hunting or have capital sitting idle, unsure how to make it work for you, it's time to make a change. Get your free copy of the ultimate property shopping list now and start taking control of your time. Check out the link below and let's get back to the video. Now, I want to cast my vision what I have for this property. The reason why I picked this property is one, there is no other pad splits in the area. There's over 100,000 residents in this zip code. There's over 45,000 single family homes in this zip code. So see how I have data already in my mind? This is real data that I've pulled. And so these are determining factors of what made me invest in this market. They're opening a BJ's. They just opened up an Avid Health. This area is growing. So if I can corner the market a little bit and open up a pad split when there's no other competition, it's not like I could charge $4,000 a bedroom, but I can charge a little bit of a premium because that consumer doesn't have anywhere to go. There's no other rentals. One bedrooms in the area are starting about, studio apartments are like $1,000, $1,200 a month. One bedrooms are like $1,300 to $1,500 a month. So those are my biggest competitors. So when I'm pricing these bedrooms, in order for me to figure out what I'm getting per bedroom, I'm looking at what studios apartments are going for and is there any inventory. There is no inventory in studio apartments. There's really no inventory on one bedrooms. So there's a housing shortage in this area. So somebody who would rent one of these bedrooms, it's a stepping stone. And typically they're going to be here anywhere between 7 to 9 months based on pad split statistics. Now, I always want it to be longer. The existing floor plan of this home was a 3-bedroom, 2-bath property, okay? So just so you know and you can imagine, I added 4 more bedrooms.